KT7 up here. Today, I am showcasing 140 Garusa. He is a 100 cost win unit in the Katana group. His sub-jobs are High Dragoon and Pugilist. Garusa can deal massive amount of damage and can be quite durable with certain builds. Just like Exia, he has a very well thought out kit. Now let's see what it has to offer. We will start off with stats comparison. He has the highest amount of innate HP of non-tank units at 4444, and the highest attack value in the game at 472. His innate agility at 63, second highest in the game, plus has access to an agility support that can further increase it. His dex ranks second at 224, and luck at 188, making semi-evade possible, especially on a mono win setup. Overall a stat monster, even among next-gen units. Next is new Katana. The general ability is slash attack 15. And for all fire and wind units, they also get physical man-eater 15 and magic wide guard 15. This is a very good weapon for him. I recommend the crit type. But the Heaven's Cloud is his best weapon in my opinion, giving him more agility, some human resistance, 20 crit rate, and recover HP on crit hits. His TMR is an accessory. The stats are HP 221, attack 55, agility 3, and spirit 10. The ability is a self-buff, gives the user 4 turns reaction block rate 50, and the on-hit effect of lower targets reaction block rate 30 for 4 turns. The ability is just okay, but agility can help tune your initial turn order and give the unit a bit more attack and spirit. Moving on to his weapon type resistances. He has 20 to slash, 10 to pierce, and 20 to magic. Has -10 to strike, and -5 to missile. The -5 to missile is problematic. Exia's Meteor Shot is a missile-based attack, could be very painful for Garusa. His ailment resistances are 50 to frostbite, 50 to confusion, and 10 to immobilize. These are not bad against ice units, but status ailments are in full swing. There is no way to defend against everything. Pick and choose your poison. I recommend giving him 75 faith to increase his chance to land disable, but he will take slightly higher magic damage. Next is Master Ability. He gets lower incoming magic damage 10% and defense penetration 20. At level 140, he gets unit resistance 15, AP consumption down 20, and reaction block rate 30. Also upgrade to his job 25 attack to include 50% damage absorption. Now let's look at his support abilities. Number 1 gives him slash penetration 40, AoE resistance penetration 40, and all wide guard 15. Also increase his physical damage output by 5% after taking damage, up to 5 times and 25%. This is one of the reasons why I like to build him a bit bulkier and forego some initial damage potential, so he can deal more damage as the battle goes on. I recommend to give this to him at all times. Support number 2 gives him max HP 12% and spirit 12. The 12 spirit is nice, but I don't recommend it. He has better support from his sub-jobs. His main job reaction is a counter-attack. Has a 30% chance to proc and restore 20 AP for him. It has pretty good range at 4, but 0 range height. Next is LB. It is a 2x2 cross-shape AoE attack with range up to 6. Range height and area height are both 1. Before damage breaks physical barriers, and lower targets wind resistance by 38 for 3 turns. Then deals extra large damage, and has 40% chance to inflict 4 turn disable. It is not the typical 67%, that's why I like to give him more faith. Disable is a game-changing effect, especially against the high faith meta units out there. Next are his buffing abilities. His highest priority ability is the group buff. Gives the group 4 turn reduced physical damage taken by 25%. For Garusa, he gets Courage, unit resistance 25, and AP consumption down 30 while Courage is active. Also seals enemies' barrier break for 3 turns on hit. The way this buff is set up works really well with one of his attacks. I will come back to this in the next slide. The second buffing ability is for self only. Gives him Dispel Protect on hit for 4 turns. Plus an additional reaction ability also for 4 turns. It has 70% chance to proc, recovers small amount of HP after taking slash or magic type damage. Dispel Protect on hit is good but not amazing. He does have self haste from his main sub. You can turn this one off if you wanted to use haste on turn 2. But I usually keep it on because his range is a bit short, so he could have a chance to use a third buff. Moving over to his attacks. The first one on the list is his only sure hit from his kit. An X-shape AoE with max range of 7, range height 1, and area height 1. Before damage breaks physical barriers, and lower targets debuff weakening by 50, then deals large damage. Post damage, lower targets reaction block rate 50 and healing power down 50 for 3 turns. Then grants Garusa a 3-turn 30% all damage barrier. This attack works great with his barrier break seal. Unlike other units, he gets his barrier after an attack. That means he would only have a barrier after sealing at least one enemy's barrier break. It helps him bypass some the who hits who first scenario. Attack number 2 is a unit attack with range 4 and range height 1. Before damage lower targets defense by 80% for 3 turns, then deals medium damage. Attack number 3 is his low AP unit attack. The range is 2 with range height 1. Deals small damage and recover 8 AP if he KOs the target. Attack number 4 is the level 25 attack. A cross-shape AoE with range up to 5, range height 1 and area height 1. Before damage dispel all debuffs from self and increases slash penetration 40 for 3 turns. Then deals large damage and absorb 50% of the damage dealt. This is really good, the AI will use it after he got hit with debuffs. That's all from his main job, let's move over to his main sub. The first ability is a unit attack with range 1 and height 1. Deals extra large damage. The damage of this attack increases as his HP lowers. This can deal a massive amount of damage, especially in a late fight 1v1 situation. The second ability is a self buff. Gives him 4-turn haste, and move and jump +1. This has the lowest priority. If you don't care about dispelling protect, turn that off and go with haste. I recommend his main sub for the haste, and access to a super powerful attack. Moving over to High Dragoon. The first support ability is High Dragoon Lore, giving him 24% attack and 40 defense penetration. The other support is High Dragoon Focus, gives him 12% agility and 12 strike resistance. The reaction is a range 2 preemptive counter. The range is too short for this to be meaningful. I like High Dragoon Lore for more damage. High Dragoon Focus is also a good choice if you want to build him super speedy. With it equipped plus the global buff from Dark Tetra, Garusa could reach 140 agility. The first notable ability is Dispel Spear, giving him a general dispel. The other is Stunning Lance, giving him chance to stun. These are pretty good, but I think High Dragoon is mainly for the support abilities. Next is Pugilist. The support abilities are Flurry Enhancement and Warrior's Spirit. Flurry Enhancement gives him some accuracy. In theory could be useful because he only has 3 use of the sure hit from his main job. But in reality, you are not going to give up 40 defense pen or 12% agility. The notable ability from Pugilist is Breathing Technique. There will be situations where Garusa cannot reach any target, this gives him a chance to heal up mid-fight. That's all for his kit, moving on to the Jumbo Cactuar VC. This is a VC Esper combo. The card supports Sword Knight, Bow, Katana, and Staff Black Mage. That's Duran, Garusa, Dario, and Shurika. The party abilities are Unit Resistance 24, Critical Evasion 16, and Attack 50%. The bestowed effects are Max HP 5% and AoE Resistance 10. The Hollow Party ability for Guild Battle is Debuff Weakening 15. VC Mastery are Max HP 3% and Crit Damage 2. This is a good VC. Unit Resistance and Attack are what you want in the main slot. The Debuff Weakening for Guild Battle is also great. For Mono Wind, this can take over for Dark Tetra. But on a Katana team, this will be in the sub slot. I will show why it off in the sample teams. The Jumbo Cactuar Esper is a pretty good one as well. It has 18 agility from stats. From the board 15 curse resistance and 15 physical wide guard. The physical wide guard is really good for Garusa and Ramana. They are weaker against physical AoE attacks, and this Esper can help with that. This VC is a luxury item, both the card and Esper are very good, but definitely not a must-have. Next equipments, Espers, and Trust Stones. Garusa's semi-evade build is possible on either Mono Wind or full Katana. So I have 2 sets of equipments here. His best weapon is the Heaven's Cloud. In the second slot you can give him Genji Glove for more damage and increase his damage cap. The Survival Vest can push his unit resistance to above 60, a more stable choice and make him more durable against Exia. Or the Marshmallow Hat for some accuracy and ailment resistances. The Espers are the usual ones. I like pairing Survival Vest and Jumbo Cactuar to cover more bases. For semi-evade, go with Dark Odin or Dark Ifrit. Moving on to sample teams. The first team I have prepared is the Mixed Spear team with Ramada and Luciel. Exia is a problem. Ramada plus Luciel can shut her down. Garusa is on his main job support number 1, Hydreigon lore, and his main job reaction. With the Survival Vest on, his unit resistance starts at 60 and will be at 85 when he has Courage active. AoE resistance at 22 with 30 physical wide guard and 15 magic wide guard. Defense pen at 70 with no way to increase it mid-fight. Slash pen at 50 and can reach 90 after using his job 25 attack. AoE penetration at 40 and crit rate at 109. The two VCs I want to bring attention to are the Lifestream card and Ramada's VC. The Lifestream card has 12 defense and Ramada's has 12 spirit. They can increase Garusa's survivability quite a lot. Most Garusa team required these two cards. They give him a lot of damage and better survivability. The second team is the Mixed Fire team with Sephiroth and Summeresnik. Luciel might be the better unit in the Exia meta. The setup is very similar to the previous team, so I won't go into too much details. One thing I want to point out is his crit rate. With Ramada's card on him plus Sildra, it is above 140. The Sildra card also gives the DPS units 21 slash penetration, and it has 8 more spirit. He can reach above 100 slash pen after using his job 25 attack. Both his defense and spirit are above 30 in this build. The 2P card is a good sub-slot replacement for 12 more magic resistance. Next is the full Katana team with Sephiroth and Dario. Again, the VCs are pretty much the same. If you want to go the semi-evade route, you can use Garuda instead of the Summer Glassy VC on Dario. The advantage of Summer Glassy's card is the 25 debuff weakening. The VC I am bringing attention to is the Ice Chariot card. It has 9% agility and 10 crit damage, goes really well with Garusa's high crit rate. Even though Dario can use the instant heal from Summeresnik's card, but the AI wouldn't use it. Next is the Katana Mixed Red Mage with Agrias and Sephiroth. This team is damage plus status effects. Every unit on this team can inflict nasty status ailments. Garusa has Disable. Agrias has Stop, Confusion, Disable, Silence, and Poison. Sephiroth has Curse, Sleep, or Berserk. Agrias is not the beefiest tank, but she is definitely the nastiest. You can get her at level 120 for free. Be sure to log in for at least 3 days during the FFT rerun. I made a video going over all the perks and the upgrades, you can check it out. Next are a couple of mono win setups with Dario and Shurika. Dario can be replaced with Duran. Let's go over semi-evade first. The Culmination VC covers AoE resistance and agility, it frees up a main slot for Garuda. Garusa's evasion rate is not great but enough to sneak in some dodges here and there. If that fails, he has decent AoE and unit resistances to back him up. Dark Tetra has 17 luck from stats, which can boost Garusa's evasion just a little bit. But the trade-off is 9 unit resistance and 30% attack. I like the Jumbo Cactuar better, but both are okay. Also, you can give the sub-agility card to Shurika, and have Dario hold either the Tifa card or regular Shiva in the sub-slot for more evasion. Now the non-evade setup. I want to bring your attention to the yellow texts. With Jumbo Cactuar Esper, his physical wide guard is 46. And instead of the winter coat, the Survival Vest can boost his unit resistance to 54 to start, and 79 when he has Courage. I typically like the non-evade setup better, but it does require the newest VC and Esper. Semi-evade can catch some people off guard in blind matchups, and rely more on reincarnations. The non-evade setup is more straightforward. It is up to you which route you want to take. That's it for sample teams. Let's look at the VC for the Katana group, then my final thoughts. We have gotten so many Katana VCs this year. There are multiple cards for every required party ability. Some notable crossovers are with Spear, Devout, Red Mage, and Black Mage. The most important ones for Garusa are the Lifestream VC and Ramada's card. If you don't have those, it could be difficult to unlock his true power. Now my final thoughts on Garusa. Many people have asked my thoughts on him, and I have always replied saying, he is a bit of a glass cannon. And it is mostly true. If you build him with all-out offense with Genji Glove and Dark Bahamut, he will go down very quickly. If you focus a bit more on his survivability, giving him the right equipment and Esper, he can take a few hits, but that will require the Jumbo Cactuar Esper. Don't fall into the trap of the chance of blowing people up, it often would backfire. If you build him more defensively, he can be a very good bruiser unit. With the survival vest equipped, he does quite well against Exia. I will say it one more time, be sure to gear him to deal with physical AoE attacks. Regardless of FF10-2, I don't recommend pulling for him. Unless you have the Lifestream and Ramada's VCs, and prepared to pick up the Jumbo Cactuar. If not, I would recommend to stay away, he is not limited after all. His artwork is awesome though. The 15 physical wide guard from the Jumbo Cactuar Esper is pretty good, useful on many units, especially for Ramada. Now let's go to some sample matches. The first match of the day is against Exia, Jum and Luciel. This team is awesome against evasion. We'll see if Riku changes that. My Garusa is geared more for defense here. His unit resistance will be at 86 with his courage active. Garusa's first action. His group buff gives the group reduced physical damage taken 25% for 4 turns. For himself, courage, unit resistance 25 and AP consumption down 30 while courage is active. Plus seal enemy's barrier break on hit for 3 turns. Second action, self-buff. Gives Garusa Dispel Protect on hit for 4 turns. Plus an additional reaction ability to recover HP small after taking slash or magic type damage. Dario has Keen Blade so Garusa can do this. His third buff gives himself 4 turn haste and move and jump +1. Garusa's LB. Before damage break targets physical barriers, and lower their wind resistance by 38 for 3 turns. Then deals extra large damage, and 40% chance to inflict 3 turns disable. It landed on Jum, she is basically done for this match. This is his job 25 attack. Before damage dispel all debuffs from self and increases slash penetration 40 for 3 turns. Then deals large damage and absorb 50% of damage. This is his signature attack, the X-shaped sure hit AoE. Before damage breaks targets physical barriers, and lower their debuff weakening by 50 for this attack. Then deals large damage. Post damage lower targets reaction block rate and healing power 50 for 3 turns. And grants himself a 3-turn 30% all damage barrier. Here comes another Wind/Chain with his X-shape AoE attack. Max damage on Exia, plus her barrier break is sealed. So her Meteor Blast isn't as scary. With 80 plus unit resistance, Exia's Arcane Cradle did less than 2.4k damage. The advantage of running Dario and Garusa together is the Wind/Chain potential. This is his job 25 AoE attack again. I will speed this up after this move, they only have the healer left. Next is me going up against Garusa. My opponent geared him for all-out offense. You will see how much more damage Garusa takes in this match. My team is geared for ailment resistances with different TMRs. Exia is just so strong, especially with Sadali and Luciel. This was the team to beat in this pickup season. My opponent also had Ice Alaya's TMR to prevent stop. Sephiroth just used Ramada's TMR. I believe it is mainly to keep him going in a different direction. And it only has one use, so multicast will never happen. The crit rate from it is also very good. My Sadali just used Ice Alaya's TMR as well. Luciel is using Minwu's TMR to prevent disable, confusion and stun. This is Garusa's Dispel Protect on hit, and additional reaction self-buff. One of the rules for this pickup is no follow-up attacks. So it won't go off for Sadali. Here comes Garusa's LB. But my units won't get disabled, thanks to Minwu's TMR. Plus Sadali just sealed their haste dispel. Still did huge damage to my Exia even with the damage reduction effect. My Exia is going for the Arcane Cradle. Did over 6k to this Garusa. Gear him defensively is the way to go, unless you can hide him well. Dual Harvest took him out. This is why I said he can be a glass cannon. Garusa is back and immediately dealt max damage to my Exia. This is how much power he can have at high level of reincarnations. He did have the full 25% physical damage increase from his support though. There are a couple more matches. I might upload a quick showcase for Olandu and Agrias, let's see if I have time. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.
私のハロウィン頼りになりますわね。弱者はメスコルが頼むわ。星の定めに決まりましょうね。あなたの最後は
私が見られて希望ならここで立ち止まることはできない。
燃え尽きるまで感謝いたしますわ。ありがとう。魔女の力を堪能させてあげる。未来を守るために。私を頼りになりますわね。勝利のために。いたから魔女の力を堪能させてあげる。燃え尽きるだけ戦ってありがとう。死ぬまでその程度か。失望した。